The tense courtroom scene had Brian Novel standing before Judge Hurley. He was indicted for executing an aggravated attack and a lethal weapon and domestic violence battery.
Sir, you were charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence battery. The court finds probable cause of their priors on them.
The person in question, aged 25 and with previous legal issues, was identified as the suspect.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring him back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring that guy back. Bring him back.
He faced charges of drug crimes. After announcing the sentence, there was an abrupt hush in the room. The sentence's burden fell upon the accused. Judge Hurley was unhappy with Novel for not using previous opportunities to think about his past mistakes. His choice would make the young man face the consequences of his actions directly. Novel received a rigorous 120-day jail sentence. He could ponder his actions and consider how to behave in court.
All right, sir, you have nothing. I'm going to send you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No.
All right, sir, thank you very much. You're done.
I didn't even know you can do that.
All right, thank you.
The guards assumed control rapidly and maintained order and safety in the courtroom. The onlookers were cautioned about interfering with what was happening based on their appearance. Judge Hurley remained calm despite Novel's outburst. He stayed composed and talked to the offender once more. Due to the seriousness of his charges, Judge Hurley kept Novel in custody without posting bail. The judge's words were heavy and tense, filling the room. The judge added another 60 days to Novel's term with a final order. The obligation is for him or her to serve them all simultaneously. The total duration that Novel will be in Broward County Jail is 120 days. Novel was allowed a final opportunity to express something. The gravity of what he had done appeared to have silenced him. He was positioned facing the judge. No longer infuriated, he refrained from making any additional defenses. After being dismissed, the courtroom left Novel with plenty of time to reflect on how his actions may impact him. The busy Oakland County Circuit Court saw Karen Stevens bring a lawsuit against Paul Nicoletti. Two individuals stood before the judge with a stressful air lingering around them. The judge surveyed them seriously. Telling the court about what had happened was a result of Stevens claiming that Nicoletti had been watching her all the time.
When you haven't even been served.
That's the point.
Stevens, do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, ma'am.
Nicoletti impeded Stevens' ability to discuss the issue of a personal protection order. He challenged her statements and declared that she was not given any orders. Fear did not overcome Stevens. In an angry outburst, he spoke aggressively, and the judge did not approve of his demeanor. The judge rapidly intervened and penalized Stevens $500 for her poor conduct.
Your relief is denied, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500.
Thank you.
Nicoletti managed to evade the trouble planned by Stevens' dreams. Not succeeding resulted in her being required to pay a significant fine. After hearing the judge's decision, she was both angry and surprised. Her upset was impossible to conceal. The judge grew impatient and expeditiously commanded Stevens to depart from the courtroom. He warned her beforehand that her disrespectful behavior would lead to a charge.
Than your own personal vendetta against this man, I did not issue a PPO. And here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am.
Melissa Hardwick assaulted and charged a judge who was presiding over a case involving a family in another courtroom. She seemed to have been accused of domestic violence by her ex-husband. The hearing moved in an unexpected direction, contrary to what was previously pictured. The judge's verdict of a 10-day jail term made Hardwick behave rudely in an alarming manner. She persisted in interrupting the proceedings despite the judge's warning not to. The judge thought about putting her in contempt due to this. Hardwick's angry outburst worsened as she flung herself onto the bench. 3 security officers were required to restore order in the courtroom after chaos broke out. The judge managed to avoid trouble despite behaving recklessly and getting into fights.
My personal life is
No.
none of your business. It has nothing to do with
Miss
you.
Hardwick,
No.
you will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I don't care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to
Okay.
him.
She will be
It
arrested
doesn't
for
make-
contempt
it
of the
doesn't
court.
make any difference.
You will serve 10 days for contempt of court. Go now.
Due to how serious the situation was, the judge gave Hardwick access to an attorney. Charges of a crime are possible due to the threats that she made in open court. Hardwick received a sentence of 120 days in jail after being found guilty of contempt at the conclusion, as well as charged with third-degree terrorism. She had been charged with fighting arrest and attempting to intimidate a person connected to the legal process. The judge took issue with Donna Cosell's rude and thoughtless behavior during her daughter's punishment. The courtroom was filled with unhappy and distressed individuals.
You can go to. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, this is a court of law. You cannot come down to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice and act any way you want.
As the victim's family delivered their heartbreaking speech, Cosell was seen laughing. He seemed ignorant of the gravity of the situation. Cosell's lack of sympathy and understanding upset the judge. He expressed to her that the courtroom demands a respectful and serious demeanor. The judge acted quickly by arresting Cosell and sentencing her to 93 days in Wayne County Jail for direct criminal contempt. Her disrespectful behavior caused this. She requested that the court comprehend and pardon her.
Something you'd like to say?
Yes, I deeply apologize for what I did. I was under a lot of stress. I'm going through some doctor's appointments today for my heart. It's just everything overwhelmed, and I deeply apologize for what I did in your court. I just needed to get out.
Cosell's sincere apology moved the judge and led him or her to closely listen to what she said. While experiencing negative emotions, the judge persisted and ensured that the court remained dignified and orderly. Despite saying sorry, Cosell was warned by the judge of the possible outcome if no change was made. The judge stated clearly that respect should be shown towards the court. The weight of what had happened clashed with the person's own situation during a moment in the courtroom. The court had different expectations. Cosell's apology highlights a valuable lesson, admitting one's mistakes and correcting them despite the atmosphere being formal and tense.